Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Shall we get started here? I'm going to take a look at whatever we've got coming in here for the collective. What is the collective message right now? This is not zodiac specific. We have a Seven of Swords. Okay, so there could be a look at lies. There could be somebody who is thinking long and hard about their relationship with the truth. We have the Hermit in the reverse. We may have a Virgo, we may have a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. This feels like somebody is done sitting in silence. They're done keeping their lies. Knight of Pentacles. They're not rushing in to say, let me explain everything, but they are saying that maybe it's time that I come forward. Now, just because somebody's been hiding something or lying or staying away does not mean it's something nefarious or bad. Sometimes people are like, oh man, I'm nervous, but I really want to tell somebody how I feel about them. I've been pretending that I, don't feel a certain way. I've been pretending I only feel friendship feelings when really maybe I feel more than that. The Seven of Swords card doesn't necessarily have to be horrible. Not all lies are equal, right? But someone needs to speak their truth, and they are slowly aware that it's time they do this. Okay, Two of Cups. I'm glad I went ahead and gave the alternate version of what, a lie can be, that not all lies are terrible, bad things, because we have somebody who wants to break their silence on how they feel. It's not going to be immediate. They got to take some time. So far, this could be a divine masculine. Strongest energy here would be the Virgo, for who he may be. We do have Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus coming off of that night, though. And like I said, we had Libra, Gemini, Aquarius possibly as well because of the Seven of Swords. But the major arcana for him is the Hermit. It doesn't have to be that he's a dude. It's just that's who we see on the cards for the moment. But he's got some emotions to share, to display, to convey. And I think he's been hiding those emotions for a long time. Five of Pentacles and the Temperance card. Oh man, I've been in a dry desert and only you can quench my thirst kind of vibe is coming off of this card. We have, she could be a Sagittarius, does not have to be. We do have Temperance here. We have him kind of out there on the lonely range for far too long. This feels like a divine masculine who has kept to himself for a while. And in truth, he knows that in this case, it's a feminine that we keep seeing who is very important to him. He has either missed her greatly or he has never conveyed that he feels really drawn to her. This could be like the person who has not yet dated this feminine, but he feels incredibly drawn to her. This is like, I have a lot more than friendship feelings for you. And I haven't said that. Hang on, I got to go back to this for just a second. Oh, we have the Devil. I was going to say, even his horse is like intuitive and is leading him this direction, right? Because the horse is, third eye is like really prominent there. So I don't know exactly what has happened here. Let's take a look at the Devil. The Devil is part of what else needs to be conveyed, right? So this started out beautiful. It started out that the only thing he was hiding is really lovely emotions that he has possibly for this feminine. But now we need to go ahead and take a better look and ask, what is the deal with the Devil? Because this could be the other half of what he needs to explain or what he wants to explain. Ten of Swords. Okay. The Devil can just be fear. Maybe he was like afraid of love for a while. He had to get over, Three of Pentacles. I almost think that he was really scared of relationships for a while. He'd had, endings that were really painful. Maybe he committed himself to saying, I'm always going to stay single. I don't want to do a long-term relationship with anyone. And then even if he fell for her, even if he felt a powerful draw to her, a powerful connection to her, he was still like, I don't do relationships though. So this could be an explanation as to why it has taken him quite a while and why he, clamped down and said, I'm not going to be with anybody. I can see how that would be part of him needing to say this. Like, I felt the feels for a long time, but I had promised myself because of previous things that had ended in my life, I wasn't doing love again. I wasn't going to collaborate with another person. I was going to go it alone. I definitely feel, remember, he was a hermit. Definitely feel like this is somebody who promised himself he would not be in a relationship again. The moon. And perhaps he wasn't exactly walking around telling everybody else this, but he knew that this was his, internal plan. What's the deal? What else is the secret here? Because the moon card, maybe he didn't expect to feel this way about her. Two of Pentacles sideways. It's the moon, we just came through that full moon, full moon in Scorpio. The moon brings things from the subconscious to the surface. The Queen of Swords. There's something here where I'm going to say what he didn't expect, especially during this full moon, perhaps, was, remember, she comes across as temperance, right? Sagittarian energy. She comes across as somebody that represents what a peaceful relationship or harmonious relationship could look like. And I'm wondering if what he's surprised by, even in himself, is that particularly during this full moon, what has come to the surface for him is he too wants peace in a relationship. He too sees it as possible all of a sudden. He sees her as somebody truthful, somebody with decent boundaries, somebody that is trustworthy. And maybe that's the biggest thing. Maybe he didn't have people that he trusted in the past. Nothing will make you say, I'm staying away from everybody, more than being lied to again and again and starting to lose, faith, lose trust that somebody would be, trustworthy. I could see how what he's maybe realized is, but wait a second, she is trustworthy. So why am I staying away from her? We have the Star. She is also somebody that, even knowing of her, thinking about her, has done something to help him to heal. She may be quite a wish fulfillment for him. This personality type, the way she conducts herself, the way she is very appealing to him. And I'm thinking that, again, the point of she comes across as truthful. She comes across as honest. And he knows this. And maybe he's realizing why he's so drawn to her, even though, again, he'd promised himself, I'm not going to do any kind of relationships with anybody. Well, you can say that, but when you meet somebody who's so different and somebody that I feel like this almost snuck up on him, his acknowledgement that, but I feel all these things about her. And here's why I feel all these things about her. And oh my gosh, it's all coming kind of clear even to him, because this is a big turning point right around this full moon. A bunch of things have shifted inside of him, because it's funny how the full moon brings things from the subconscious to the forefront of one's mind, even things that we hid from ourselves. And I really feel like this is his awakening about how he truly feels about her, about why he's drawn to her, about what it is about her that makes him, feel like he could trust her, feel like he would want to try a romance with somebody like her. This is all about finding someone he felt he could trust. And that is not what he had in the past. I feel like he must have been probably played really dirty for him to shut down to that extent. And please remember, he could be a she. This could be a same-sex couple. I don't actually read for genders, but I go with what we see on the cards, and then I refer to them based off of what we saw on the cards, because it helps to, keep the characters straight. But so we know which one I'm talking about. You have a 10 of Wands. God, this is so liberating for him. The acknowledgement of all of this, the awareness of all of this. Now, let's go back to that Knight of Pentacles, because him having this mind-blowing epiphany, him recognizing the things that he's recognizing about her, about the way he actually feels about all of this, that is starting to sink in for him. But he's slowly going to be moving forward. No, sorry, that's not the deck I wanted. I wanted this one. Oh, I am a wrecking ball right now. I'm smashing other decks over and making a mess to get the one that I wanted. Divine Masculine, and we have the Action of Cups that is sideways. Here we go. So it's not going to happen during this moon cycle that he's coming toward her. It'll be during another moon cycle. He does still have to move slowly toward her, but it's only because he's getting his wings. He's getting real steady in his energy flow. right? He's ready to break some silence. He's realizing some really important things. He's stepping into a confident divine masculine energy where I feel like he's about to soar. Now, maybe he travels a lot. Maybe he's going to be taking a flight at some point, or maybe he's just really connected to his guides. And everything here says, just because we have an epiphany doesn't mean that we instantly enact something and everything's going to be perfect. It might be good to have the epiphany, sit and soak in the awareness that, holy smokes, she is not somebody I want to avoid. I committed myself to a life of saying I'll always be alone. I'll never have a romantic partner. But the truth of it is, what I've been looking for, I see in her. She's somebody I know I could trust. That's why I'm drawn to her. And I'm realizing I want this. I want to explore this with her. I feel like she's my Two of Cups. This level of, I'm connected, I'm drawn to her. I can see why it would be good for him to kind of like build on that confidence. This is a fresh epiphany. Now he needs a little bit of time to think about things as he's envisioning like a whole new, he's not ready to run in and give his whole heart, right? This is all kind of new. He is changing course. He is, I would say, like totally blossoming as a divine masculine. Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is very nice. He's not moving directly toward her just yet, but that's okay. With that was, by the way, that was a Knight of Cups sideways. So he's not coming in as a knight. He will be approaching her as a full-blown emperor when everything is perfectly aligned. We've got the olive branch of peace and calm and harmony. And, bear in mind, we had her showing up as temperance, which is peace and calm and harmony. Then we saw him with that Two of Pentacles sideways. Again, him craving peace and calm and harmony, particularly in matters of the heart. This is passion, and this is the reason that we move forward. But he's not just going to be coming at her because like, oh, she's really hot. He's seeing it as peace, love, harmony, and this is confidently who I want to be with, how I want to present, how I want to come into her world. He's not going to come crashing into her life and be still halfway scared and, try to get with her, but then still be like, well, I want her to, make me feel safe. He's going to come in really calm. Nine of Swords. He's going to come in really calm because he might be starting to recognize, wait a minute, if she seems peaceful and calm, but also has good boundaries, I wonder what she went through to have to develop good boundaries. Anytime we have that Nine of Swords, that's her on that card. I'm wondering if he's starting to consider, I don't want to come in and disrupt her life and be less than confident about what I'm doing, because why would I want to bring any kind of grief into her world? Maybe she's known people who've also been untrustworthy. Maybe she's had plenty of stresses of her own. There's a reason she comes across peaceful, but also having boundaries and being super truthful. She showed up in his mind as a Queen of Swords, someone you need to be direct with. She also showed up as the Star card, a great healer. I'm wondering if he realizes I better approach her really confidently myself so that I don't stress her out. Eight of Swords and Six of Pentacles. I like the fact that as he shifts and blossoms into this full-blown emperor mode, that's when he's able to consider another person's, behavior and emotions and how he would want to approach and not cause her distress and be considerate of whatever her life story has been. Because the objective here is to make her feel comfortable enough that she wants to open up to him too. And it's like he's just now realizing, then hang on. If she makes me feel calm, I need to be able to bring that same energy to her, because I don't know what she's been through. Let me make sure that I present in a way that she would like want to give her energy to me. We have the Magician, we have the Nine of Cups. You know what? This is so wonderful because lots of times I think in stories we see characters that are real, like jittery and nervous because they're barely out of some of their heartbreak, or they're still highly guarded and they're, like super untrusting, and they try to go after a relationship when they're still like very almost like hostile. Instead, he's looking at this like, I'm so excited to start manifesting having a relationship with someone that all I want to do is create like a really wonderful energy space between us where she feels comfortable with me. I'm excited to interact with her. I'm excited to actually share good vibes. It's not like, okay, I think she's really awesome. I realize I want to try this with her, but I don't know. She'll still have to prove herself to me. He's not approaching it that way. He's approaching with a truly like, I already believe she's wonderful. I just want to step into her world and share some of that, wonderful energy with her. And I really look forward to doing that. This is him further getting over any of his jitters, any of the things that kept him in silent mode. All of this is him blossoming. So this is really his, odyssey, his journey of becoming that emperor, awakening to like how great a good relationship could be and how best to approach a relationship with somebody that you feel drawn to, that you already think is a wonderful person, someone whose energy you want in your life. May I just ask this? Did these two already have some kind of background together? Did these two, I mean, he obviously feels an awful lot for her. This doesn't mean though that he's dated her. What has been their interaction in the past? Because I never saw that. The world. The world can be two people that have always been at a distance, but he knows of her. The world can be two people that met each other but briefly. We've got the Four of Swords in the reverse. The world is ending of cycles and new beginnings. All I can say is whatever their previous energy was, obviously she dominates his mind. So he is very much aware of her, even if she's at a distance. Even if he met her in a room full of people or saw her from across the room, she stood out to him. Maybe there was some brief communication that these two shared. And it was just like, wow, that was easy. That was comfortable. It feels like it's somebody that he wants to talk to, specifically would like to talk to, specifically somebody that he was surprised at how comfortable he felt with her, and maybe vice versa. It was just different with her. I don't know if he had like a brief moment to interact with her and then they were separated again, because the world keeps feeling like distance to me. But this marked a change for him. Like the emotion that he felt for her was different right out of the gate. And that has, I think, stayed with him, and slowly but surely has like blossomed into, wait a minute, she's great. And I felt a sense of truthfulness in her that I don't doubt that. Like, I know that there's something here. Yes, he does feel drawn to her as his Two of Cups, even though this is not a relationship that's gotten off the ground yet. So it definitely feels like a new love story, but it's for two people that I think are a Two of Cups, that this is his blossoming and acknowledging that and moving forward into that. So really nice energy. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing.